breaking news. The CIA has lost control of the majority of its hacking arsenal, which could fall into the wrong hands around the world. That's according to the latest revelation from WikiLeaks. Well, for more on this, we can now cross live to our correspondent in London, Polly Boyker. Polly, good to see you. Now, what implications might this report have?
Well, they're calling this leak Vault 7, and they're claiming that this is the largest ever leak of secret CIA files. According to WikiLeaks, the CIA has lost control of the majority of its cyber weapons, this arsenal of cyber weapons that it has. Things like malware, viruses, Trojans, and various remote control systems. So all the tricks that spies use in order to survey their targets. And what WikiLeaks is saying is that the CIA arsenal of these tricks has already been leaked and circulated among former government hackers. And WikiLeaks knows this because one of those former US government hackers has passed on parts of this dossier onto WikiLeaks. The files contain so-called weaponized exploits, so methods for spying on anyone, anywhere, through familiar devices, ones like Apple, Google, and Microsoft phones. Even the iPhone that runs the presidential Twitter account could be subject to these vulnerabilities. And also, in conjunction with MI5, it appears in these files that the CIA has created a special type of malware that can infest Samsung smart TVs, which all have covert microphones that can be turned on through this type of malware. And what's interesting here is that after the publication of the Snowden leaks, the Obama administration had obliged the CIA to reveal any so-called vulnerabilities about all these devices, about the tech industry essentially. According to these documents, they haven't done that. They've hoarded all of these vulnerabilities in order to be able to use them themselves. But because their cyber arsenal, it seems now, isn't secure, and it has turned out to not be secure, this information has already spread to other hackers, and that clearly presents a security risk. WikiLeaks has said that the person that passed this information onto them, their source, wants to initiate a public debate about democratic oversight of cyber weapons, which of course is very reminiscent of the motives behind Edward Snowden's leaks. And WikiLeaks say that their source and the organization itself is concerned that once a cyber weapon is loose, the way that they're claiming this CIA arsenal is now unsecure, it can be spread very quickly, it can be used by bad people for nefarious purposes, cyber mafia, rival states, teenage hackers, you name it. So all this is about cyber proliferation. There are two layers of concern here. One is what the CIA is able to do and whether there is enough democratic oversight and accountability of the CIA's capabilities, but also concerns that those capabilities aren't even secure and anybody could get their hands on them.
Okay, Polly, thank you so much for that update. That's RT's Polly Boyker there speaking to us live from London.
Okay, Shalom, Yahweh, Shemi Shai, Barakatah. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. This is I know y'all with the blood of truth. As you can see in the video, the tools used for hacking are now open simply to anybody that's a hacker. And this is just nothing more than I put it as a covert way of undermining all groups, militias, intel, and like we always been saying, it's been a war on information, and we're coming into an era where these things are going to basically be the standard. People being hacked, accounts being hacked, people being spied on. Because what's going to happen is that the CIA, they have, groups outside of the CIA that work really in tandem with the CIA. But the way, these groups, these agents do it, or agencies do it, is that they do it through a third party, so And the brothers, you know, mainly in our world. Speaking on our world is, we're going to, going, to pretty much an intel war, against the truth. And so if your account ends up getting hacked, we basically know that you know it's a CIA inadvertently doing it through other groups, whether they be lone wolf hackers or whatever the case may be. But this is pretty much the era that we live in. Okay, and it's really to to hinder the truth and to doing a lot of exploitation, as we had, you know, as we have seen throughout the months, and weeks, with certain brothers um, having their accounts hacked, and it's just another way that the CIA can have plausible deniability for all the turmoil and all the chaos in the cyber world. Okay, not to mention the infrastructure. It runs off of basically computer based. So it has greater implications than we basically can see as of now. As far as everything being hacked, but these are the certain trends. These are the trends that's taking place in the world. You know, that's going to basically turn this world upside down. And it's going to give them a greater reason to bring in the CISPA bill, and to do all the monitoring and surveilling. So, but now it's in the hands of certain culprits who inadvertently are CIA. It's the same as America leaving weapons for ISIS to forward their agenda in their campaign. To covertly uh, usurp other governments. So it's the same way with the truth. So these guys are, whoever they may be that's doing all the hacking, they're nothing but CIA generated. You know, and this, like I said, this is a small implication on things that's happening. It's really nothing as of now. Because they can hack into our phones, probably get our pictures, families, probably get more personal pictures, or some information that we have. But this is the war that we have to face, and it's pretty much a trial that we have to go through. So you brothers just be on the lookout. And this is the chaos that's really going on behind the scenes. So and like I said, we know, us being in the truth, we're the number one enemies in the world to everything, because we're against this world. We're against the world, the world's ideals, philosophies, and way of life and culture. We're against that because it's not that of Yahweh, the perfect society he created in the beginning. It's absolutely the polar opposite of what the Most High has made. So, for you brothers out there that don't know how this works, as far as accounts being hacked, and it's just a small level. It's just on our level that I'm speaking on, but it has greater implications behind it. Like I mentioned, a grid can be shut down on it. Um, you know, the financial system, the financial structure can be shut down on it by basic hackers. It's a lot of things that go into this, but I'm gonna just focus on us, and really the disdain that these people have. Like Southern Poverty Law Centers, anybody that's working in tandem with the so-called white man, whether it be the IUIC rogue agents, or any agents that is working for Esau to pretty much undermine us and what we do in the truth, and bringing out the truth. All right. So they're going to do whatever's in their power to, to exploit us any way they can. So this is Psalms 56 and 2. It says, "Mine enemies would daily swallow me up." Okay. For they be many that fight against me, O thou most high. All right. So as many of them and as few of us. Okay. As you see, the elect is 144,000, and that's a very small number compared to the world. Okay. Because it's us versus the world. Okay. It's us versus the false prophets. It's us versus everybody. Okay. Because they don't deem the way of the Most High, tangible to their lifestyles. Okay. So verse 3, it says, "What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee." Okay, because there's going to be a lot of exploitation. There's going to be a lot of threats being made. It's going to be a lot of be a lot of black mailing. We're only getting a small a fragment of what's to come. Especially with them. Trying to use brothers' kids as you know bait, or calling brothers' jobs as bait. You know. So and when I seen the video, all I all I thought was is that plausible deniability. They're going to deny the fact that they have little rogue agents, the CIA that I'm speaking of. They're going to deny the fact that they have agents who don't put on the CIA badge. Like I said, a third party, agents who are going to be doing or using the same tools that the agency has been using to spy and hack and do certain things to people's information. All right. Now don't be alarmed if they come after your bank information. Those brothers that have money in the bank, or deal with banks exclusively, they might come after you. That's just the reality behind it. It might seem far fetched, but in this world, you never know. All things are to be considered, and that's why the scriptures say, you know, uh, be circumspect. Okay, being circumspect, being vigilant. Which is scriptures I'm gonna get into. So I'm gonna keep continuing this. Verse 3, it says, "What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee." Because it's many of versus a few. And we are few, and you know, um, contrary to popular belief, the stigma that they have on Great Millstone, that we're deadbeats, or we don't do nothing for nobody, or we're rapists, or the truth is totally opposite. You have brothers that's fathers and take care of their family, and they're the sole, you know, being that's being taking care of their families, maintaining a job, and maintaining a house, children, you know, and of course you're gonna be afraid for your family, not so much ourselves, because we don't really we count ourselves as dead in this world. We don't have nothing to really live for. And they notice these people out here that really want to come up against us. So the only thing you would be afraid for is your family being hurt. And verse 4, it says, "In God will I praise His word. In God will I will praise His word. And God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me." Okay, so we don't fear what flesh can do unto us. Okay. Verse 5, it says, "Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil." Okay, now, in the situation with Yahweh Shai right before he was put to, basically crucified, they bear false witness against him. They try to come up against him many times to basically seek an occasion against him. By what I mean by that is they try to catch him up in his words, uh, in such topics that that offended, or they could use against him, to say that he came against the law, okay, or he's coming against the Roman Empire, and they set up false witnesses as such to condemn him, as though they're doing now, okay. So they're setting up their false words. So in other words, when it says every day they rest my words, what a rest! To hurt, to pain, to grieve, displease, vex, rest. All right, to shape. Jump to 2. It says to shape, fashion, make, form, stretch, and to shape. All right, so in other words, to displease, grieve, hurt, vex. All right. So in other words, every day they shape. Another word for rest could be shape or form. All right, my words. And how do they do that? That things according to the doctrine, like rape or marriage. They would basically make it seem as though we're saying something else. Okay, they would change up our words, like those wicked Pharisees and scribes did to Yahushua. Okay, so it says, all their thoughts are against me for evil, and that's how they look at us. They look at us as evil. Everything that we do, everything that we say, is evil towards in their sight. Because they don't hate us. They hate Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, and they always have. And it'll prove it's coming to light more and more when you see them come against the doctrine, because everything that is said in the doctrine is backed up by the scriptures, whether it be prostitution, whether it be rape, which we know is a reality in the world. Nobody's telling nobody go out and rape, but it's circumstantial. The circumstances create dire times and desperate times, and we know that as men, especially when an economy is in turmoil. All right, um, and it's all sorts of things that weigh in, on that. But not all grape mills, and no, I can say none of Great Millstone is, and I can say this very knowingly and very, from what I know uh, to be true, is that none of us rape any women or rape anything, So those claims that they come against us is basically what verse 5 say. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul. And that's them bringing out videos of brothers with liquor bottles in their hands, or at the club, or you know um, or anything that they do in their life personal. They're watching. So another word for mark my steps is shamar. Okay, the Hebrew word shamar, which is to keep guard, observe. So they observe everything we do. Okay, they mark my steps when they wait for my soul. So are they waiting, you know, in good hope? No, they're waiting, for evil things to happen to us. It says, shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger cast down the people, O God. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? Okay. When I cry unto thee, then shall mine enemies turn back. This I know, for God is for me. And what they don't realize is that us going out there teaching the doctrine, this is the Most High's doctrine. All right. We don't just decide to get up and study and go out there on Saturdays or Fridays or Sundays, whatever days we might do the truth, and just do it, just because just because oh we want to, and that's the case. The spirit of the Lord is put on us, and we go with the spirit, we flow with the spirit, because it's the right thing to do. But everything is led by the spirit. Okay, so and they have come up against that. Okay, it says let me see. It says, "In God will I praise His word, and the Lord will I praise His word. In God I have put my trust. I will not be afraid what man can do unto me." Okay. So another scripture, um, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. Ephesians 5 and 15, it says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Okay. And that's what I'm explaining. That's what I'm getting into. As you've seen the video, these are the evil days. And these are the days where things are going to go into chaos. A lot of confusion is going to go around. People are going to be losing faith. People are going to be, information is going to be hacked and exploited, and people are going to be exploited. Um, People are going to be hunted down, and and people are going to try to come after us, so on and so forth, because of the doctrine. It's not what we do to people, it's what we say to people. And that being the most strenuous thing for them to handle, and it's like, they really don't have a backbone in this society, and they'll come after you for the smallest thing, so, but it says redeeming the time. So we supposed to what? When you go into the word redeeming, okay. So buy up to buy for oneself. So basically, you're supposed to, let me see, to make wise and sacred use of every opportunity for doing good. So basically, in the time that we have allotted, we are supposed to be diligent and understand the parables and understand what, the will of the Most High is, and using the time, the opportunity allotted to receive the truth. All right, to receive more understanding and instruction, because these times are going to get worse. And if you don't know, they say knowing is half the battle. You know, if you don't even know, then you already lost the battle. Um, so the time that we have now is the time to prepare for the things to come. Okay, so that's why it says, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. All right. Because the will of the Lord is to what? Is to bring division to the world, and chaos to the world. Okay. He said it himself, he come not with peace, but a sword. Okay. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. But brothers supposed to understand the time that we're living in and do what is needed um, to build. It says, "And be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit." All right. And that wine is it's talking about is basically uh, the anything outside of the mindset of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, anything outside of the will of the Most High. So if you're in this world trying to uh, solely be successful in the world, that ain't the mind of Yahweh Shai. All right. Now, if you're trying to be a so-called father and focus more on being a father and disregarding what things you have to sacrifice as being a father, um, to basically ward off, the mentality of Babylon, as you see it every day, man. You see the customs every day. You know, people are more worried about pleasing other people's feelings rather than telling them the truth. Okay, and everything in this society that's made up in this society is pretty much against the Most High. Almost everything for certain. All right, so verses it says, "But be filled with the Spirit." The Spirit is the word of the Heavenly Father. You know what you see on the screen, which is the Bible. You know, it says, "Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord." Because what? That's going to be the only thing that comforts you. The spirit of truth is a comforter. This word, the word, and the understanding is the comforter. Okay, because people are gonna lose faith, man. People are gonna bug out, and people are gonna completely disregard the Most High. All right, because people can't. He already put forth a stumbling block for people not to see this, and it's easy. It's easy what a biker jacket can do. It's easy what a picture with a brother holding up a liquor bottle can do. It's easy what words can do when they're not properly broken down and deciphered. All right. So this is Revelations 12:12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." All right. And it's talking about the so-called white man. It's not talking about no mystical being. All right. It's talking about the so-called white man, who is the counterpart of Satan. Satan works on the left-hand side of the Most High, the evil side. Okay. And the so-called white man is his counterpart here on earth, putting forth the evils in the earth. All right. So, and that's pretty much what's basically taking place. And all the laws that he has set up are to basically destroy the nation of Israel. All right, to bring us into captivity or to kill us off. Okay, and that's simply what he wants to do. And the elites want to prolong their society, prolong their lives. Okay, because they know their definite end. They know their definite end is destruction. Okay, so they're trying to do as much as they can. All right, with the little time that they have. And it's not just the so-called white man. We have also our people to thank, that's going to be part of the scheme of all the chaos to come. As you see now today, we got our own people coming against the truth, you know, and they have their own truth, their own perspective, okay, rather than what the Most High deemed righteous and deemed worthy. Okay, they have their own righteousness beside that of the Most High, and that's why they're going to be destroyed. But that's also why they're coming against them, against the Most High. All right, meaning you brothers that's out there doing the truth. Okay, and it's pretty much it. Pretty much hit the point. These times are going to get dire. These times are dire. All right, and that's why you see anybody that's not in the CIA, and that's part of it can be your regular hacker, but these tools are being let out into the world where everybody can be a hacker, you know. And like I said, it's just the CIA inadvertently um, using a third party to do their dirty work for them, you know. So as you can see, and that's why certain things are going down, with information, intel that's being put out there, and you know, and the biasness of things that's being put out there. So you brothers watch what you say and do. Um, and with that, I'm gonna just close out and give all praises to Yahweh by C.i.a. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. This has been another one with Anaya Allah, with the beloved truth. Shalom.